Hi.
Alrighty.
Okay, welcome everyone to the first episode of the Layered Podcast. My name is Avery. This is Leah, and we're just going to deep dive everything from interior design to trends that we're seeing in the world from two different perspectives. Maybe even have some guests on
Hmm.
a few episodes and take it from there. Day by day,
Love it.
just like
Good stuff.
interior designer does in the real world.
Good stuff.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got your start, and then we'll
Oh,
just get into
those are
this.
pretty deep questions. How did I get my start? So I've always been crazy interested in interior design.
Hmm.
From the time I was young, I would I would, paint my bedroom.
Hmm.
Um, all the time I would move my furniture. My path at the time did not take me to interior design school. It took me to business at Georgian College. Business.
Represent.
And yeah, so did that my life. Did a few other careers, and then in my early 40s, was like, girl, it's time.
Yeah.
It just was like, I want to do this. I'm going to start now.
Yeah.
So I took some courses online. Um, really practiced over COVID.
Hmm.
Got to learn a lot of what do you call it? The principles,
Yeah.
you know, and then went from there and thought, well,
Yeah.
I got to start my own business. And I married somebody with the last name Size. I
Perfect.
feel like
It
meant
just had
meant
to.
to be.
It had to happen.
It's meant to be.
Yeah, I feel like COVID was such a good time for everyone to get creative
I
in
agree.
DIY, and it was great
I agree.
in that way.
Well, it was great. I don't love DIYs, but
Hmm.
we'll touch on that another day.
That's okay.
Life is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Been in business for, I'm in my seventh year.
Amazing.
Love it.
Yeah.
Got to meet you.
It's great.
And yeah, things have been great.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting how we've connected in this
Totally.
industry because I just graduated interior decorating and then I met now my friend and
Oh,
your bestie, Jillian.
oh,
And
you're talking
oh,
about me.
oh, and she introduced us, which was a great opportunity through a school project.
Yeah.
So now we're here.
Forever indebted to her.
Yeah, we have to owe her
Like
everything.
everything.
Yeah, and she reminds us
A lot.
every day.
Every day.
That's okay.
Yeah, it was great how we met. She met you at school. She
Yeah.
was on a board or
Yeah,
something.
she was on a panel for a
Met
presentation.
you, came home, called me, and was like, "You gotta hire this girl." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "She's incredible. You're gonna love her."
Yeah, and then Leah postponed for 3 months
I was very
because she was on
busy. I was
vacation.
very busy. I was out of the country
Yeah, she
a
was
lot.
MIA, but that's okay.
I was in Italy and then Florida. And then I think I went to Italy again
Hmm.
and then maybe Florida a few more
I was like,
times.
wow, this girl's really well traveled. I need to work for her.
I know, but yes, no. And then we met and it was amazing.
Yeah, and now we're here
Now we're here.
starting our podcast. So I think we should just deep dive into some topics and discussions today.
Yeah, I think so. Because there's a lot to talk about.
There is.
I think what we'll start with today is why to hire an interior designer because I feel like a lot of people think they can do it themselves and hey, maybe they can.
Yeah. I think we're surrounded of a world with social media where a lot of people will
Yeah.
label themselves as interior designers, which is okay.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
everyone do their own
I
thing, but it's just it could be misleading
I also think
sometimes.
HGTV kind of thinks everyone
Yeah.
can do something, and with a budget of 30,000, you can have a new house.
Yeah, like there's certain jobs that people shouldn't do. Like I'm not a doctor. I would never act
Agreed.
like being a doctor.
Agreed.
Certain people shouldn't act like they're interior
Right.
designers.
I'm not an accountant.
Yeah, no.
So when I get asked why should I hire you?
Yeah.
I say things like, well, do you hire an accountant to
Yeah.
do your work? Do you hire a mechanic
Yeah.
to do your car work?
Mhm.
These are things I wouldn't do.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't even bake cookies
Yeah.
because there's bakers.
Yeah.
I think everybody has a purpose and everybody has a role and everybody has a specialty. And I think that's where you go. And really, I guess it depends on how much is your time worth?
Mhm.
You know, um, do you want to run around and source 50 different stores to try to get the look that you want? Or do you just want to hire somebody else to do that because
Yeah.
you're probably um, working
Mhm.
or you've got kids
Yeah.
or you've got a family or you've got whatever you're doing?
Yeah.
Like, do you have time in your day?
Yeah.
Also, you, most people I know have Amazon Prime,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What do you do that for? Save time.
Yeah.
Just have it delivered to your house,
And help save money.
right?
Because I find if you're going out and shopping, sometimes it's easier to pick up this, pick up that. Whereas if you have it online, you can see it all there and you can kind of like,
Right, right.
yeah.
I have a story. It's a good one. I had a
Mhm.
client, she was lovely, hired me after she um, got the condo and ordered the couch.
Mhm.
And then called me and said, okay, I bought this couch. I need you to make it work in my condo with all my other furniture.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool. So I went and met her, saw the condo, looked at the floor plan. I said, okay, can we, what do you have on the couch?
Mhm.
No, it's at this local store. Went to the store, talked to the people, found out she ordered herself a very large sectional.
Mm. Mm-mm.
And so called her up and was like, hey, girl,
Yeah.
you ordered a sectional. She's like, no, I didn't. Looking at your order right
Yeah.
here and you order sectional. And there's no way a sectional was even going to
No.
remotely get into that.
God no.
So, it's about saving yourself on costly mistakes.
Mhm.
That would have cost her a lot of money. And thank God I knew that store and they knew me and they were able to
Yeah.
cancel that without giving her a fee.
Mhm.
And we ordered her the proper size
Yeah.
sofa.
And I think there is a part of it that um even if you hire a designer for the concept or to help with guidance of where to
True.
shop, there are certain things that you could also do yourself.
Totally.
Like you don't have to get absolutely everything. Like painting, that's
Totally.
something that if you're more comfortable doing it yourself, why not do it yourself? Have a
Absolutely.
designer help you source the correct paint, the paint color.
Yep.
Make sure it's a durable paint that will last. But you can paint yourself. You can do certain things like that. But I think overall, if it's a larger project, you should leave it to somebody that's been trained.
Well, and I love the idea of just hiring for a concept.
Yeah.
Like, listen, I just need you to put it all together for me,
Mm-hmm.
tell me what I need to go buy, and then I'm out of here.
Yeah.
That's cool too. But at least, again, you're saving your time, and maybe you're doing it over you're saving money at a period of time. So
Mm-hmm.
you've got a plan, but maybe 1 month you're buying a couch, and
Yeah.
1 month you're buying the coffee table, and that's cool too.
Yeah.
So, but you've got that concept down,
Yeah.
and you're not playing the guessing game.
And sometimes having multiple opinions too.
Yeah.
Bringing in a designer or even a couple of designers if you have to with
Yeah.
different
Yeah. Find the one
feedback.
that fits you.
Yeah.
Because if they're not going to learn who you are, why?
Yeah.
We've heard horror stories about people who buy a couch because the designer made them buy the couch and they never even sat in the couch.
Yeah.
But
That should never happen.
interview your designers for
Yeah.
sure. The other thing is you brought up if you're doing a larger renovation,
Mm-hmm.
decorating is one thing, but renovating,
Mm-hmm.
you want to talk to a designer. You got
Yeah.
to find out where you can save,
Yeah.
and where you should splurge, where you should save.
Yeah.
Because if you're thinking of selling,
Mm-hmm.
you can increase your property value, or
Yeah.
it can decrease your property value.
Very true.
If it's something you're going to live in for the next 15 years,
Yeah.
great. I had a client who wanted to paint her kitchen teal green,
Yeah.
and I was like, first question,
Mm-hmm.
is this forever?
Mm-hmm.
Are you here for a good time or a long time?
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh no, I'm going to sell in 2 years." I'm like, "Then we're
Yeah,
not
no,
painting the
not
kitchen teal.
happening.
No, like it's just not going to work.
No.
You have to know." I'm like, "We can have some teal accents, but
Yeah,
you have to be painted.
yeah,
You have to know when to fold them."
yeah. It's true.
Hmm.
Coming from parents that were in the real estate industry,
Mm.
we were very, every room stayed a very light neutral gray because my mom would sell her house while we were at school. Um, because she had a client for it. So we would
Yeah.
come home and she would say, "Kids, pack up your stuff. You're going to a new school and we're
Hmm.
moving." And that's totally okay. But we made sure that our house was made and still is that it's neutral. And if we want to sell, it can be like you said, like if you're gonna stay in the house for 30 years, why not? Do
Yeah.
what makes you happy.
Live in it.
Yeah.
If teal kitchen's what you love, okay.
Yeah.
But don't tell me you're going to sell in 2 years
Yeah.
because that's not going to be a good idea.
Yeah. It also depends on the house too, because there's certain houses that can pull off a green kitchen
Absolutely.
or teal, whatever it
Freaking
is. But then
Lule.
there's some houses that it's not it.
It's not cool.
No.
Um, Another reason to hire a designer is to make your house cohesive.
Yes. That's a big one.
Yeah, because you don't, you got a little mid-century in one room and a little,
Yeah.
traditional in another, and that's okay to mix them,
Mm-hmm.
but there's a way to do it
Yeah.
so it looks intentional
Right.
and not just like you've inherited pieces and then you've bought pieces,
Mm-hmm.
and there's definitely we're trained to know how to make them work.
Yeah.
um Also, we get to yell at the contractors.
Yeah. Because if you don't get a designer, then you have to
Totes.
deal with that yourself, which is just not okay. Because even designers, they deal with
Yeah.
contractors and the garbage of that.
Listen, contractors are a bit of a bone of contention for me right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I appreciate them.
Yeah.
I appreciate their work.
What they do, it's great.
I do.
When they do finish their work,
When they
it's
finish the job,
amazing.
so good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think, you get to be the heavy. It's like
Yeah.
good cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
I like to be bad cop
And especially if you hire a designer, it becomes your own HGD TV moment of like, move that
Yeah,
bus.
that's my
You don't have to
favorite.
do anything. The client can just,
Move that bus.
move that. It's
We
not
have a
what it
lot of
is.
buses.
You know what I'm talking about, the
Yeah.
move that bus
Yeah,
shot.
I totally
But
do.
it's one of those moments where you can just walk into your space and see it finished and
Yeah.
not have to go through
And listen, you
all
just
that.
came home from work and it's finished.
Yeah, boom, just
Yeah,
like that.
because nobody.
No,
But yeah, I think, there's a lot to be said because unfortunately there are some bad contractors out there that
true
will
that.
take your money
Yeah,
and
a lot
not
of
come back.
scams,
A lot of
lot of scams
scams.
out there.
We know, we kind of take the heat on that.
Yeah,
Not always loving it, but we do it.
it takes the stress off the client.
It does. I'll never understand. I won't do my accounting.
No,
Can't do it.
no,
I don't want to get in trouble with the CRA.
no,
No way,
not gonna happen.
Jose.
Yeah,
No. So we talked about cohesiveness in your house. What else? Increase property value. There's a lot of reasons you don't want to. I think the biggest one is, what's your time worth?
yeah,
And I think Jillian, back to Jillian, the first thing she said is, I don't know how to do this.
mm-hmm.
And frankly, I don't want to know how to do this.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I hire you.
Yeah,
So those are the best. But it's also good to have some input
yeah,
because no input sucks too.
yeah. Consultation. It just takes a quick consultation
Yep.
and just get you started. Even if you don't go with that designers,
Yep.
it's you're helping yourself. You're helping your future real estate agent if you decide to sell. You're
But then
helping
you've also
everyone.
got that usually with the consultations, a concept,
Yeah.
right? And you know, you'll get a good vibe.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
People like me.
They do. You're funny.
I know.
Yeah.
I get it.
Babies, elderly.
Babies don't like me, but elderly babies do not like me. But animals, dogs like me,
Yeah. Yeah.
and dogs know everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's important. Do your homework,
Mm-hmm.
make your calls, and do what's best.
I think another thing is going back to finding the right designer, because some designers they do want you just to spend all of your money,
Yeah,
all of it.
yeah. They're not going to give you like, you say I have a $50,000 budget, and they'll be like, oh, but I want to spend 150. It's not going to work.
Yeah, some designers don't believe in the Wayfair. They don't believe in the HomeSense or
Yeah,
any of that, which is just very unreasonable and unpractical for the
yeah.
average person.
Well, and just the way the economy is today,
Mm-hmm.
but also we're in Canada, so we still love you, U.S., but
Yeah,
we will, you know, support Canadian. We've always supported Canadian,
right,
um, but it's important to know where to like, splurge, where to save.
right.
You don't want a couch that you haven't sat on.
No, it's the biggest thing.
No, but you can get pillows
Yeah,
and change those out,
yeah.
right?
A throw,
Yeah,
simple things like that.
totally. So I think it's really important to, um, yeah, to know that you don't have to spend $50,000 on a couch.
No, definitely not.
We have some great places here that can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think we
Those
hit
are the
on.
main points.
Oh, wait, we should talk about how we have access to way more suppliers.
Yes.
So, so not just, the box stores.
Yeah.
We see things that others, we know trends.
Mm-hmm.
We get pre information.
And exclusive
Yep.
insights to
Yeah,
what's
when new
upcoming.
inventory's coming,
Yeah.
we get that.
Yeah.
So that's important to put in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
Mm.
The other thing we should add
Yeah.
is just because they're the cheapest doesn't mean they're giving you the best.
No.
No. Yeah.
No.
Think about
Mm-mm.
that. Do you want the cheapest guy working on your car?
No. God, no. You don't want Larry down the street that's charging
Right.
$10 and a Tim Hortons donut.
Or your neighbor who has, a kitchen that you love and she's going to come do it for you.
Yeah, no.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Just,
We'll have to touch on another time that just because your friend redid their one bathroom does not make them an interior designer.
oh, yeah.
We'll have to
Or
touch on
your
that.
aunt who painted her kitchen 35 years ago.
And now she thinks that she's a
Yeah, I
color
love that.
expert.
I love it.
That's a big one, but that's a discussion for another
Oh
day.
my God, we have so many fun discussions.
We're not haters, but we
I'm not a
hate.
hater. I don't
We
hate
hate
anybody.
sometimes.
Well,
Yeah.
I do hate
Well,
some
some
people.
deserve it.
Only some contractors who don't finish the job. But
T. Yeah.
for another time.
Yeah. I
Well,
think
this was fun.
that's I think that's a wrap
That's a wrap.
for this
First
app.
one. We'll promise we'll get better. I believe we will.
Yeah.
We're growing. See?
Flourishing.
Uh-huh. We're flourishing.
Yeah.
All right. Cut.